many of them here, so please rejoice today. So this is very briefly, this as Jailendra said, this is the 25th edition of ADCOM. We have been doing this for a long time. We have missed a couple of years, but this is the 25th edition of ADCOM. This is the flagship event of the Society Advanced Computing and Communication Society, which was a rollout of a small group that Professor Sinha started many years ago called the Indian Transputers Users Group that was convened to build the supercomputing machine after the sanctions after Pokhran 1 in 1989. So this group used to meet every year, every December, and in December of 1993, they banded together and formed the first conference to invite all engineering institutions and schools under the banner of ADCOM. So that was our first year of this particular conference. And over the years, ITUG became Advanced Computing and Communication Society in 2001. And since then, we aim to be something like a mini IEEE of India. Our focus area and reach and jurisdiction really is Indian engineering schools and institutions. We use the resources of Tier 1 institutes to go out to those non-Tier 1 institutes to help them build their quality of teaching, students, research, projects by way of seminars, workshops, conferences, distinguished lectures. We also have started a journal since 3 years. And we also have a plan to start an open access library very shortly. Just to make this short, I have a very short video that we prepared for this occasion. This kind of traces the history of ACCS over the last 19 years and covers 25 years of ADCOM.
Yeah. Dr. Srinidhi used technology to make his job easier. Thank you. Dr. Aloknath Dey is the General Chair of ADCOM 2019. Let me take this opportunity to introduce you to Dr. Dey, the CTO and Senior Vice President of Samsung Electronics in India. He has more than 25 years of industrial and research experience, including most recent one in ST Ericsson, where he was Director and Country Manager, BTech from IIT Kharagpur, ME from Institute of Science, and PhD from McGill, Canada. He is recipient of Alexander Graham Bell Prize in Canada and received IET Memorial Award in India. Dr. Dey has served as Adjunct Professor at IIT Delhi and AICT INAE Distinguished Visiting Professor with IIT Roorkee, Senior Member of IEEE and Fellow of IE Institution of Engineers, IETE Institution of Electronics and Telecom Engineers, and also INAE. Good to have you, sir. Can you please give us a brief about your ADCOM 2019?
So again, this morning we had in Samsung this Teachers' Day celebration. We called 3 professors to talk about AI in imaging and vision, how it's going. And this afternoon we are here, and that to its 25th year of this ADCOM celebrations, ACCS. So it's a pleasure, it's an honor, and amidst of all of you, so my due respect to all the faculties and students. This is 25th editions, and there are many conferences that happens, and that's big, mega scale. So we go there and we present things, but here we wanted to keep it short and sweet and depth to bring in. And Dr. Srinidhi has been doing a fantastic job in anchoring that. And this year I got co-chair with Dr. Devabrata Das, Ritesh, and Anthony, who have been the technical chairs. So again, thank my team. Tomorrow is the main presentations, plenary talks and others, and this evening, again, it's a warm start to that journey. In terms of the topics, we have seen the glimpse of different journals, and again, we meticulously have been choosing what the themes are, and last 3 years, many issues have come out. They're quite deep, and first time when I've been working on IoT, but one issue when I grabbed on IoT protocols, I was surprised to see that more than 100 protocols exist in one form or the other. Somebody did the review. So this time I took the opportunity to do some review in one of those journals. So it's great that we are covering gamut of things, and this theme is about 5G and beyond. When I joined Samsung in 2011, let me share some personal experience which is connecting to the theme. The first topic that I touched is the 5G research. That's my first assignment. And we decided between US, Korea, and Bangalore, we'll do physical layer, MAC layer, and the rest of the networks in a systematic fashion. And we took responsibility for the media access control. We have had, I think, more than 100 patents in this area over the last 8 to 9 years. And it's a long journey. This topic, 5G, 4G, takes like a decade. From 11, we're talking 19, and still deployment has just started, so it'll take 20. So when I talk to the professors, I say, yeah, we should do these 5G test beds and things, but one is the deployment and testing, and as it happens in the country, but it also sets the tone for 5G and beyond. The 6G research, if we start doing from 20, probably closer to 30, we will see the fruit, and we can take that whole decade and enjoy our journey into that. So while doing this research, as we were looking into it, first thing that came, if I have to compartmentalize into 4 aspects, one thing is the specifications. The standard bodies come, and they always look into, oh, what's the peak data rate in LTE, let's say. So, okay, I mean, that's at 1 gigabits per second. Now, can I do 20 gigabits per second at peak data rate? If it was in 10 megabits per second in an average user data rate, can I do 1 gigabits per second? So somewhere there is a factor of 10, somewhere there is a factor of 100, and you try to set a goal that's kind of, pushing the envelope and why people should even design a new system, right, which takes a whole decade. So we looked into many things, and the concept of green communication is coming. So yeah, we talk about green communication, but what does it mean in terms of specification? Can I have an average network power consumptions, and can I reduce that by some factors? That's what we looked into it. Can you do a 10x or a 100x level? Latency, 1 millisecond from 10 milliseconds. So this took us time, but with the standard, looking into it, not that all things that you know whether you can achieve or not, but we set targets and started working with, in the beginning, ourselves and each of the companies separately. Down the road around 14, 15, the standard body started talking. Before that, even you don't have a standard. So it's an ad hoc, proprietary. You believe you can do it, so let's just set it. Then I think 14 onwards, even 3GPP, if you look into the release 14 onwards, before that release 13, was more onto the LT side. Then going into 14, 15, 16, we started this journey. So this is one dimension. The second part, building the system. Building the system, how do you know? It's a new frequency bands. You move into below 6 gigahertz, 6 to whatever, 50 gigahertz, and above 60 gigahertz. So that's a new domain, because we have done only around 2.5, 3, this gigahertz. We had knowledge. We have no clue. Nobody has any clue as to how these frequency bands, it will be working into that. So we did that and looked into channel characterizations, the RF, the antenna. People are doing the MIMO systems and overlay of networks. How do you do a non-standalone going into standalone? And some of these topics will be discussed even tomorrow. So that was the second dimension of it. The third dimension is the trials. All these years, standards are coming, but how do you do the trials? You start with pedestrians moving. Can I get this much data rate? Then you say, 25 kilometers, vehicles moving. Can I do that test? I need to do a handover when that speed is happening. At this data rate, can I do a handover? Now I need to speed up, and this is talking like 500 kilometers per hour, but even if you take 100 or 200, can I do a handover at that rate? You go under the tunnel. You are in the car. You are in the train. You have these losses. So one by one, you have to do these tests, and we have done with different operators like KDDI in Japan for train and some cars and things like that. So it takes, again, a lot of time. And one day, suddenly you see, it's almost all things have started working, so it is a time for deployment. So we moved into that direction. So now we have come to that fourth stage, and in which 2018 beginning, we did a Korea, the Winter Olympics. So we said, let's do a hotspot zone, which is like your stadium. In that itself, can we have a very high speed of that? So, and then a lot of applications on VR and AR and gaming, sportsmen, that we looked into it. So moving from there, now that space is completely open, and whether it is B2B or B2C, we have a session in panel, and we can discuss more what kind of applications for different countries that we could take it forward. But that chapter is now open, and let's look into that. So this is what we think a gradual 1 decade long 5G journey has become. And it's as we embark onto the deployment for 5G, even in our countries, we are talking about new spectrums, trial runs, which cities. As we do that, we should also start thinking maybe next year onwards how we can look beyond and think about 6G and research and contribution and industry academia collaborations. And definitely ACCS can play a good role into that. So we would love to take that forward. And thank you very much.
Thanks to you. Okay, I'm sorry I could not be present at 2:30. It so happens today is a Teachers' Day. And happy Teachers' Day to all the teachers. And the students have put together a small skit for about 30 minutes from 2:30. So I said, I can't stay for 30 minutes, but I'll stay for 15 minutes. So that's why it took a while. Sorry about it. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks that you joined us, sir. It was incomplete. Thank you, Dr. Day. Dr. Ritesh Kale, senior researcher at Hitachi India, and a researcher in wireless standard, energy efficient, IoT, analytics, urban transportation system. Pretty much graduate of this institute, ME and PhD. All right. Senior member IEEE, and senior scientific officer here. Welcome, sir. You have been the technical program chair. Please brief about the papers.
So good afternoon and happy Teachers Day again. On behalf of the technical program committee, Professor Anthony, Franklin, and me were the co-chairs for 25th edition of ADCOM 2019. And the main focus, as Dr. Day has explained so nicely, is on 5G, both the core technology as well as applications. So we received a large number of papers in these areas, which went through a very rigorous review. And the technical program consists of these regular papers as well as PhD forum sessions, which will be presented here tomorrow. So there are 4 regular papers and 2 PhD forum track, which are nothing but advanced PhD students' synopsis through oral presentation. And these will be in a single track session tomorrow morning. All these accepted papers will be part of the proceedings as well. Our warmest thanks goes to the organizing committee, colleagues here, the technical program committee, reviewers, and all those involved in making this program happen. And we are very happy to report that the last 3 months' journey of both organizing and reviewing the papers has been very encouraging for all of us involved in this program. So no doubt, we hope that you all would benefit from the sessions and also interact with a large number of participants, both from academia as well as industry. And also, we would be able to network and also learn from stalwarts here in the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kale. Now, can we have a